Well, time now for another check of your forecast. And Brittany, you're busy tracking storms that's going to impact the start of our week, right?
Absolutely. And unfortunately, these storms are looking more and more likely to become strong to severe. Remember, folks, severe is a very specific criteria. And even if we don't reach that, they are going to be strong regardless. Here is a 4-box showing all of our impacts here. Tornado threat, damaging wind risk, high. That's the area shaded in red. A little bit lesser for large hail, but it is certainly still going to be an impact here for you. As we look at the tornado threat, this area shaded in red, that is a 10% chance. Not only is this rare for us here in the Carolinas, but the way that you have to think about a 10% chance is about 10 times more likely than a regular day. Normally here in the Carolinas, unless we're at 5%, we don't pay much attention to it, as 2% is pretty low. But once it's 10, that's an especially likely chance to see some of those quick spin up tornadoes. So we really want you to stay weather aware again, especially Monday midday through the afternoon. Gusty winds still our primary risk, as 90% of our damage from severe storms still comes from gusty winds. But this is really an event that we're especially keeping a close eye on the quick spin up potential. So I really want everybody staying weather aware and alert of this potential heading into tomorrow. Now, something that might save us is actually some of this rain we're getting out there right now. A system ahead of the main line bringing us lots of rain, even some pockets of heavier rain, which is very beneficial. But the actual storm system that creates that severe weather risk still on the back end here. You can see all of these areas shaded in yellow boxes. So those are severe thunderstorms. The orange ones are severe thunderstorms with a tornado tag. So that's where the National Weather Service will tag that tornado potential, even though there's not actually one that's been spotted, but there's enough rotation. And then of course the pink ones, you've seen those before here in the Carolinas, those are tornado warnings. But oftentimes what will happen is when we get some late evening rain and maybe even early morning, if this does stick around, it can actually help stabilize the atmosphere and lessen the potential. So tomorrow's event right now looks like it could be pretty bad, especially because of the time frame being in the afternoon. But we will definitely have to adjust the forecast if this rain lingers a little bit later, which we hope it does, for not just the fact that we hope to lower the severe thunderstorm risk, but also the fact that it is going to be beneficial to our droughts and, of course, the ongoing fires. Now, unfortunately, as they look at the radar right now, it does look like there's a pretty big gap, but that doesn't mean that some of that moisture couldn't come in even a little bit earlier. Here's a live picture from Doppler radar. You can see almost everybody west of 77 getting a decent amount there right now. So most areas do look to stay dry overnight, but it's ahead of the main line. Some of these little sprinkles being picked up on our Futurecast radar. We see this a lot when it comes to forecast models, but their guidance, not gospel. Not every single storm that you see here pop up on Futurecast is going to be something that does kick off, but what we look for, patterns and trends. We've pretty much trended consistently, like the rain we've already seen is more than expected. So that is good news. We're hoping to get some of that early tomorrow. But again, even if we do, and we help stabilize the atmosphere, maybe the severe thunderstorms aren't quite as bad. They'll still be strong though. We'll have areas of heavy rain, some gusty winds. And again, even if that stays below severe criteria, this is going to be a cold front that you will certainly notice as it passes through, with again, the heavy rain, the quick spin up potential, and all those gusty winds. Most of this is pretty much out of here by late Tuesday. So it is mainly a Monday event, and the time frame we're looking at is mainly toward noon to 6 o'clock here in the Charlotte Metro. Here's a quick look at storm timing. We will put this on our WCNC Charlotte website and of course our mobile app if you need a little bit more time to check it out based on where you live. But morning time for the mountains, midday to 6 for the Piedmont, and everywhere else a little bit later on the eastern side of I-77. This is the only risk, at least so far. It looks like we could have widespread severe weather this week, but a few isolated thunderstorms will return by the end of the 7-day.